Have you been looking for an affordable alternative to a vinyl cutting machine? Then this episode is for you because I've got some Christmas DIYs using little more than a printer. But at first, I want to thank Hiipoo for sponsoring this episode. So let's get started. Okay, so for our first DIY, we are going to be making some Christmas tags, and I have the most amazing product for you. It's called Waterslide paper. Have you ever heard of Waterslide paper? Well, you're about to fall in love because I have. It's so awesome. In fact, the whole time I was using it, I was like, where has this been my entire life? All you're gonna need is an inkjet printer, which is the standard printer that most people have in their homes. Then you're gonna need this paper from Hiipoo. I'm going to be linking all of the supplies that I'm gonna be using in the description box below. And then I'm gonna provide a free printable for you. Looks like this. Isn't that super cute? It says something you want, something to wear, something to read, something you need. And then I just did 3 rows of it because if you wanted to do multiple sets, you might as well just use up all of that Waterslide paper all at once. Then you're gonna take the Waterslide paper, put it into your printer and print out this design onto it. And then we are going to go outside and you're gonna take some clear coat, and it needs to be acrylic based, and spray 3 good coats. Follow the instructions on the can, but wait a few minutes in between each layer, and then you're gonna let it fully dry for about 15 to 30 minutes. And then while it's drying, what I would recommend is I got these wood gift tags at Michael's. I don't recall the price, but they weren't very expensive at all. And I just took some white craft paint and painted 2 coats of this white paint onto it and let that dry. So just get them white. I think that it makes the contrast really nice when you do that. So we're gonna just cut those down to size. And then here's the kind of where the Waterslide comes into effect. So we are going to dunk our tags into the water until it feels like it's gonna slip, and that's about 15 to 30 seconds. And then we are going to take our tag, kind of line up the edge of where we want it to set, and then very carefully just kind of pull out that white piece of paper out from underneath, and then it will kind of suction on to the wood tag. It was so cool. I loved it. I loved it so much. And then you just let it dry. I think you can speed up the process a little bit if you want to use like a hairdryer or anything, but I just didn't want to mess around, so I just let it dry. Now at this point you could also do another couple of clear coats if you want. I didn't in this case, I just left it as is, but feel free to do some more clear coats to kind of protect it. I love the shine of this. I thought it looked really fantastic. And then to kind of give it that Christmas flair, because that's what we're going for, I went ahead and took this red and white striped twine, kind of fed it through and did a knot to make it into a tag. So then we have these really cute gift tags that look super adorable on a present, and just think of the possibilities. I mean, you could really customize them. You could put people's names, and all you have to do is print it out on a printer, put a few coats of acrylic on it, let it dry, cut it out, dunk it in some water, and you have beautiful decor that looks just as good as vinyl. I mean, can't go wrong. And you just used your home printer. Okay, so for our next DIY, we are gonna be making like a cookies for Santa tray. Now I will also be providing a really awesome printable. It looks like this, except for it will be blank down here, so you can kind of fill that in with whatever you want. And so I am going to provide this, all the links will be in that description box, I promise. All you need to do is print it out on that Waterslide paper once again, do 3 coats of that acrylic spray and let it dry. And while you're doing that, I found this really cute picture at Walmart in their fall section. If you hurry there, you might be able to still find it. So then I just took some celery green chalk paint, and the reason I did that is because it really matches all of my Christmas decor. You can kind of go back, watch some of my other Christmas episodes from last year. I'm going to be bringing out a lot of that again and kind of adding to it. And so I just thought, let's keep it kind of all the same. So I just painted out that center part in the chalk paint and let that dry. Once both of our paper is dry and our chalkboard paint is dry, then we can start assembling a tray. Now this one was kind of awkward. I probably should have gotten a different bowl, but it did end up working. I dunked the entire piece of paper into the water, and then it probably took the full 30 seconds this time. And then I slid it onto our wood tray. Now I had sprayed this in kind of like a gloss acrylic, and that's what I had. And then you could kind of see the flat matte from the chalk paint contrasting against kind of the gloss sheen of our sheet. So I didn't want that. So what I did is, once our paper had dried, you want to make sure all of the water is gone. I took it outside and sprayed over it in a matte finish clear coat, and I did several layers, and I kind of went heavy around the edges where you could kind of see the outline, and then it kind of evened everything out and it all looked one. And I could not believe how professional it was looking at this point. I was so excited. And then I took some handles that I had in my stash, and I used some Gorilla Glue to glue them on the sides. I also used a little bit of hot glue just for some instant stick. Honestly, if you can screw something in, it will be more sturdy. So, and then you want to make sure that that fully cures for 24 hours before you try handling it if you glue them on. But if you can find some that you can just screw on, then go that route. They have a lot of cute ones at Hobby Lobby. So again, that amazing Hiipoo Waterslide paper is blowing my mind because this tray is so adorable. And then how it looks displayed with cookies, carrots, and some beverage drink. This product can give such an easy finish with virtually no painting. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Is this awesome? Are we liking this Waterslide paper? You'll have to let me know what you think of this by commenting below. No, no, no. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Nope. Okay, so our final water slide project, and then we're gonna kind of move on to a couple of other products, so I'm really excited about that. Again, another free printable, Merry and Bright, and what you're gonna need is 2 Dollar Tree frames. They come in gold already. I had one that was gold, one that wasn't. I just spray painted them both out into gold. And then you're just gonna print this out on the water slide paper. And then again, don't forget to do the 3 coats of acrylic spray, let that fully dry. And then once we do, we're gonna cut around the Merry and Bright, kind of following the shape of the scripty font. First, I decided to go ahead and yank out the little things that hold in our glass pieces because I had a different plan. So I just pulled those out. And then on the glass portion of the frame, I went ahead and did our water sliding, where we dunk it in the water and then slide it off. This one felt like a little fragile just because of the way I had cut it. Just be gentle and ginger on this one, where you kind of cut it around. But it worked out fantastic. And then what I did is I inserted the glass, and then we went around the edges with hot glue to hold it in place. I just didn't want those little tabs poking out and kind of ruining the aesthetic of our look. And that's it. For like a little over $2, we have a really cute Merry and Bright sign. When you're looking at it, you cannot tell that it is a piece of, like, I don't know what this technically is, like sticker paper or whatnot. You can't tell unless you're getting on an angle and getting really close up. It looks amazing. It looks fantastic. So a couple of months ago, with the help of Hiipoo, I showed you just how easy it is to convert a printer into a sublimation printer, and it is so much fun. I am totally obsessed with sublimation. It just gives such a professional look to your projects. So I wanted to do a little Santa sack, and I've seen them around, and I'm like, we can make one of these, pretty simple. So what I did is I got some 65% polyester fabric, white fabric. All we did is took some Hiipoo sublimation paper. They have it in 3 different sizes, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, I believe, and then the 13 by 19, which is that big size that I use. You will need the bigger size to do this. If not, then you can kind of like slice and dice this image and kind of tape it together if you have like this smaller machine. I got this image off of Design Bundles. I will link the package that I bought. It had many to choose from, and this is just one of them, and I thought it was super cute. And so I printed it out on that Hiipoo paper in that large 13 by 19 inch size. And you want to make sure when you are printing it is reversed. Now, if you want to learn about sublimation, you're going to want to go check out that video I did, because I really break it down. In my video, you'll see just how easy it is to do, I promise you. So go watch that one if you're interested in sublimation. But what you're going to do is we print it out on Hiipoo paper using Hiipoo sublimation ink. I am really impressed with their products. And then I laid it out just to kind of see where we needed to cut it and how it would look on the bag. Basically, I cut it down where it was already folded, and then I gave it a good iron. And then I sewed down the side seams. And then I also did a zigzag edge to kind of finish it off so there was no fraying. Then we left a little section at the top where we had kind of ironed down on our iron and created a little pocket. You can see it here, what it looks like. It's folded and folded again and ironed down to make it easier. And before we stitch that, we're gonna fold those little end pieces that we didn't sew. First, we're gonna clip it a little bit, fold it over, stitch it down the side, and then that will kind of finish off those edges. Then we're gonna roll it back down and stitch it across so that there's a little pocket, and then you have a little sack. Okay, so now we have our sack sewn and ironed out. It looks really good. I'm really liking it at this point. And before we put in our cord, we're gonna take it over to our heat press, and we're gonna put some parchment paper on the inside of the sack and then press it down for 5 seconds. And then we're gonna lift it up, and then we are going to take our sublimation reversed print, put it face down, and then we're gonna take some heat tape and kind of tape it into place so it doesn't move around. And then we're gonna take some parchment paper over the top of that. Then we're gonna press it down. This is at 400 degrees for 45 seconds. And you could also use your easy press if you want. I am really liking this for sublimation. It's a little bit bigger coverage, so it works out great. And then you lift it up and you reveal our Santa sack. And isn't that cute? And then we're gonna just add some white cording. I attach a pin and kind of thread it through, and then tie a knot on either side, cut off the excess cord, and that is it. So then you have a really cute sack. What do you think of this Santa sack? So for this DIY, it's kind of a 2-for-1 because we're going to be making the same pillow in 2 different ways using 2 different products. The first one is we are going to be taking this white sublimation pillow blank. We're going to print out our image which I'm gonna be giving away for free. This is one that I've designed, so it's all down on that same link. And we're gonna print it out on some sublimation paper, and then we're gonna do the same process we just did. Put something in the middle of the pillow, heat it up for 5 seconds, then take our image, reverse, put it face down, a little tape, a little bit parchment paper, press it for 45 seconds at 400 degrees. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you the kind of the side-by-side at the end of this, but then I wanted to show you another product that Hiipoo carries, which is this heat transfer paper, and then you print it out onto this paper on your inkjet printer, and then I cut around mine and cut all the excess. And then you start the same way you do with the sublimation one, and you take the white pillow form, and I just used another sublimation blank because it's what I had on hand, but in this case you don't actually need to use a polyester content, so that part is nice, but it's what I had on hand, so I just went ahead and used it. Put the parchment paper in between, heat it up for 5 seconds, and then we peel off the backing of this vinyl type product, and then we very carefully kind of lay it out, spread it out, smooth it out. It was a little challenging because of the way I cut it out. I think if you had a square, this would be a lot easier, but it just kept wanting to curl under. Finally, I put the protective piece of paper that comes with this vinyl product over the top of it, and then I was able to kind of smooth it out around the edges. Now you're gonna wanna heat this between 330 degrees and 340 degrees. So I just split the difference and did it at 335 for 30 seconds on the heat press. So it's a lower heat than the other one, and then you are done. Here was what they look like side by side. You can kind of see where the white vinyl is. However, it looks pretty cute. And if you don't have a sublimation printer and you don't have a vinyl cutting machine, this is a good option for you because all you need is a regular printer. And the possibilities for this are endless. Again, if you want to learn more about the sublimation, don't forget to check out that episode. For our next DIY, I just wanted to show you just how easy this printable heat transfer vinyl is, with another quick and easy idea for a possible teacher gift. All you need to do is find an image you like. There's so many to choose from on Etsy. I found this one for $3.50, which I will link below, and I printed it out on my regular inkjet printer on this special paper. I trimmed off the excess around the edges just to make it look a bit more finished. And then I got this tote from Walmart in a 3-pack for about $8.50. I pre-ironed it for a few seconds and then peeled back the backing on our heat transfer vinyl and placed it where I wanted and smoothed out the edges. Then I put our protective paper that's included in the packet over the top and ironed it this time with just my regular iron. I just made sure it was on dry setting and my highest heat setting and ironed it for about 30 to 45 seconds, making sure to get the edges really good and adding a little bit of pressure while I pressed it. Then I just peel back the protective layer and reveal a very cute tote that you could be very proud to present to your child's teacher. But just think about all the possibilities with this. You could totally change this up and use it in so many different ways. Now, Hiipoo really wanted you to be able to try out their fun products, so they are giving all of you a coupon code for 40% off this printable iron-on paper and 10% off the Waterslide paper. Those codes will be in the description box below, and I know you are going to have as much fun as I have. I just want to thank Hiipoo for sponsoring this episode and sending me such amazing products to work with. I am super impressed with everything that Hiipoo has sent me to this point. They really have tremendous products, and I'm not just saying that. And if you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button right here. It's super easy to do, and I would love it if you joined the DIY Niner family. And to all of my DIY Niners, I just want to remind you that you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.